I would not say that Smart4Health is dead now. Actually, the funding of the project from the European Commission is over, but with the outstanding results that were already achieved by the project, especially with the platform, the project for sure will continue. For example, one of the reference results that we have is the integration of the regional health system in Madeira with the platform, where we have 250,000 users that are engaged to use the Smart4Health results. And for sure, we will have the sustainability of this platform continuously, also with other initiatives, with the support of the European Commission, but also at the national and regional level. Nevertheless, we need also to know that these results of Smart4Health are also in synergy with other European projects, like for example Smart Bear, that is using the platform also to integrate electronic health records, and this is a project that still has 2 more years to go. So I would say that the project is over, but the results of the project are still burning.
Actually, our work as social scientists has been ending here, but with the expectation, I think it will be extremely important to carefully watch what are the conditions, how they change, and how one would need to adapt accordingly. So it's a learning system, if you want so, and it has to be kind of constantly revisited and rethought in order to make it fitting with the users, be it professional users like doctors or nurses, or be it kind of citizens as users. So in that sense, a good exploitation is only possible if you continue to watch out for what kind of users need actually.
Well, very important is that the lessons we learned in Smart4Health, especially in terms of interoperability, connecting platforms, using the data in a correct way, is being done in a good way, continue to be done. Smart4Health as a project might be ending, but the concept we developed, the lessons learned, certainly will continue to be there.
We were speaking about it a few days ago, because it's really a pity if it ends actually. And what I've heard is that the European Commission is working on a way to make it to the next step. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Smart4Health delivers a prototype that can be really used as a very good reference what could be done to bring the data to the citizen and not keep the data dispersed along the different silos where usually the health data is stored, different hospitals, different clinics, different medical doctors. So this paradigm is proof that it's possible. And now it's just a matter to use what we achieved in Smart4Health as a reference to be implemented around Europe and abroad. We cannot forget that our project already integrated also electronic health records from United States of America, from the Mount Sinai Hospital. And this is also proved. So this is my vision on that.
That's difficult to judge in that short time because we only have by now a prototype working, and the prototype can never directly change in the healthcare system. But as we have seen here in Madeira, there are healthcare systems that try to use that and integrate it into their kind of workings, and this we will see over time how well that kind of works. And so this is a digital transformation, as has been very often underlined, and transformative effects on society always take a relatively long time, and by relatively long time I speak of 5+ additional years until we will really see the impact Smart4Health can make. But it has all the prerequisites to potentially make an impact, so it will depend now if people pick it up, if they're ready to invest, if they are ready to kind of really go with it and commit to it, and I think things are possible.
I think so, yes, because it was very important from the very beginning to get the frontline workers, nurses, etc., involved. Because let's be very honest, these are the people the colleagues who are working with the data, collecting the data, and everything which helps is being of benefit. Everything which would be a disruption, an additional work, is obviously not being so positive. So it's very important that we get the input, listen to them, and provide feedback and good concepts and solutions for them to have an easier work. I know it's a very, very hard work, so it's a very difficult support there.
I think it's already changing regarding the sharing of data and the awareness that me as a patient, I own my data and I can take it anywhere and share it with whoever I want. And it was a thing that even here, it was kind of like the data was from the hospital. And even I, as a patient, if I wanted to ask for some information about me, it was, oh, you have to make a request and wait for a report. And now I can go to Abscesaram or SMART4HEALTH and get my information. And with SMART4HEALTH, I can go to another country and share it, or another hospital and share it.
Well, one of the results of these projects in terms of the engagement of the users is that still, and this is incredible nowadays, still there are some lack of digital literacy in many users, even in the young generation. Nevertheless, I'm pretty sure that with time this literacy will be improved. This is a matter of time. But what is very important is to learn and practice by example. And having the SMART4HEALTH delivering the platform with so many users already using it, and starting to have our platform also in use in other initiatives, in other projects, users more and more feel comfortable to use the platform. And what needs to be done is just wait and show that what we achieve in SMART4HEALTH is really valuable, and users can take a large advantage having access to his own data from the SMART4HEALTH platform.
Some of the end users are actually quite fascinated by changing to digital health, but they do not yet see exactly the benefits that it would bring. So I think we need over time to really build an environment that shows citizens when they engage that this is an advantage for them and for their own health. I think a number of users will still take time because digital literacy is not as far developed. So just because people know how to use a smartphone or a computer does not mean that they want to engage in digital health. Health is a very personal, very delicate issue. And so I think it will take time, and there will be efforts needed to kind of engage with users continuously to see how one could bring them on board and show them what are the advantages in participating in something like a digital platform.
Well, that's a difficult one because end users can be a lot of people. And it really is the point that we try to convince a lot of people from different perspectives to see something beneficial for all of them individually. So I think it's a long journey we are still on, but we did the first good steps. So it will be continued to be, we have to nurture, we have to continue working on this in order to get everybody on a level that they are benefiting from it. There will be no single, yes, done, quickly, exact. It is a marathon, not just a sprint.
Thank you.
To understand the technology, understand the logic, and the real benefit of it.
Well, who knows? But I think what is important is to demonstrate that SMART4HEALTH delivered important results. And now, with the different pilots that we had and with the results that we achieved, I think that the strategy would not be to push for the other member states to use what SMART4HEALTH delivered, but demonstrate that SMART4HEALTH brings really an added value. and with that stimulate that the other member states feel motivated to adopt similar solution. This is a very challenging, let's say, work plan, because of course, as many different member states we have, we need to face more challenges, but I think that the motivation will come, because the added value is proved to be really very big, not just for the healthcare system overall, but for each one of us.
That is a very good question. Actually, we have already seen when we go across the countries that they have a very different healthcare systems, and actually the hurdles to implementation are very different. For example, some countries have already health records, others don't. Some countries have, for example, hospitals have still paper records, while other countries already have electronic records. So I think this is a long-term project that will gradually have to adapt and integrate, but we can see that in many countries there are efforts done to turn medical records into electronic records. That is step one. And once that is done, you can get the data more easily into the platform. I think what people will not want to engage in is individually upload everything, etc., because they feel they don't have the knowledge for it, the time for it, etc., and they don't see the gain necessarily.
Well, this is also not a very easy one, because obviously some member states are thinking more digital, using healthcare data in a more
clever way,
in my personal opinion. Frankly speaking, from my personal feedback, having lived and worked in 7 countries, there is a very individual way countries are approaching this topic. So we have to be patient, and we have to convince again and again everybody that a single digital environment for healthcare data, is for the benefit of European citizens. Having worked in 7 countries, I don't have one single health record at this moment in time. Maybe in the future there will be one if people do the same thing like me, being real Europeans.
I think foremost, in the beginning, we have to understand how the health systems are organized in the diverse countries, and how the data and fields have to be harmonized, and then of course probably it has to be some financing support to help people adopt SMART4Health.
Well, for me, what is really important in this moment is to assure the sustainability of the results that we achieved in SMART4Health. The platform is important, but it's not just the platform, it's the platform and all the methodology and the strategy that is behind in order to stimulate and motivate the healthcare systems and the citizens to adopt the system. So in the first, I would say that a priority would be to keep the projects that already are working in synergy with SMART4Health, to keep using the platform, to keep using the SMART4Health project. And with that, build other concepts on top of the platform where we can enlarge and expand with, for example, new proposals to be supported by the Horizon Europe program, or even national or regional programs, what we did in SMART4Health. For example, we are talking now about the electronic health records connected with the regional system or with the national system, but we can enlarge this, for example, to have the concept of the virtual hospital implemented. This is one possibility. Another one is also to look for the new digital skills that are necessary to give to the citizens, and the platform can be also a reference, and we can propose new concepts, new proposals in Horizon Europe, taking this as a basis. So I would say that the door now is open, the horizon is very vast, and the sky is the limit, as you usually say.
I'm currently Oh, sorry, I'm currently not working in any of the Horizon Europe projects. On the contrary, I have one ERC grant where I am looking into the way how this expansion into data might also come to certain limits, because data are very good and very important, like health data, but we also know that we will have to limit the amount of data we collect and how we deal with it, because this is very resource intensive. This is an extractive industry. So we will have to think what is a good balance between collecting data and being committed to environmental limits, because data also use a lot of resources. So, but beyond the European project, I'm involved in biobanking and the question what this does for society. So it's not a European project, but it's part of a European network, an ERIC network for biobanking. So in that sense, it's not a Horizon Europe project, but it is a European project.
We are involved as ITTM not only in Horizon Europe, also in innovative health initiatives, so really working together with health companies. But you asked for Horizon Europe. The next one we are actively engaged in is dealing with a new curriculum for healthcare professionals to really also start educating the young people, not only the older or the already existing workforces, but really getting this notion of digitalisation in the workspace as early as possible. So the project is called Digital Skills for Health, and this is really building a curriculum for the healthcare professionals of the future, obviously. And ITTM is happily there also because interoperability, using of data, is not only a matter of a company like ITTM, but also of the people working with it, at the bench, at the monitor, at the bed. And that we would like to support as well.
I think we have to keep working with this European data space logic for medical procedures, but also for investigation to get more better medicine in the future. And I think for me and for European Union, for us as citizens, it will be very valuable to have more accurate procedures in the future if we share this data now.